Wakefield is directed and written by Robin Sweecord, I'm not sure how to say it, and stars Bryan Cranston. This takes a look at a man who's going through a kind of midlife crisis. He is not happy with his family, not happy in his marriage, and one day he stumbles upon a secret, I guess, attic that is located over his garage, and taking seclusion there, he starts to observe through this little circular window the life of his family without him. He sees his family and his wife dealing with his disappearance, and he takes some twisted enjoyment in it. I will tell you this movie definitely has It's a Wonderful Life vibe of it, but not so much fantasy-like, but a perverse look of a man observing life from outside. As you are a member of the audience watching this film, he is an audience member, the only audience member, watching his family move on, or apparently trying to move on and trying to progress with life without him. And this is definitely an interesting movie. It's a fascinating story at how this guy takes enjoyment in some things that he really shouldn't, and really get to know the people in his life through his eyes, but then you do get to see how they really are, if he was wrong or right. Bryan Cranston is a talented actor, and that is not news to anyone, and he is uber captivating in this film. He narrates it to the audience directly, like he talks to the audience, and it becomes this kind of meta commentary on his own life and his own character, in a reflection that we get through him. We get all these bits and notes about other people and himself through this guy, so throughout the majority of the film, it's only his perspective that is presented. That is not to say there isn't visual storytelling in this film, there is, but the majority of it is Bryan Cranston and our observation of the evolution or devolution of this character. He definitely goes through ups and downs in this film, and the movie deals with it in a very charming manner. They really do a little bit of satire of what he's doing, of how he thinks, and the movie does never really answer whether it's right or wrong, because it's pretty easy throughout most of the film to decide for yourself whether he's right or wrong, because some of the things in this movie you cannot condone, actually. And that's one of my major flaws with this film, and that's how I will transition into the bads. For the most part, and maybe for some people, for the whole entire movie, you can't find yourself to be rooting or be on the side of Bryan Cranston. You definitely understand this thought process. You definitely understand that if you were in his situation, you probably would do something of the sort, or maybe the more regular situation which he addresses in this film. But there's really nothing that makes you root for this character, because without spoiling, you go into a little bit of his past, how he met his wife and whatnot. Neither him or his wife are very commendable characters for what they have done. It's not like they killed someone or ran over somebody and they went to the hospital and they never admitted it. It's not that, but it's something that makes you think, you are not very nice people. There's not really much to say of other performances in this film besides Jennifer Garner. She is beautiful, she is a talented actress, she emotes a lot in this film, and you believe those emotions through her facial expressions, but all her character development is through Bryan Cranston's observations and narrations throughout this film. But again, the movie is really funny. It has a good balance of drama and comedy, and the comedy is really satirical. It's really commentating on how wrong this guy can be at points and how right he can be at points. The movie does drag a little bit near the ending, but there are some answers that the movie comes to that you're like, I did not know you were going that way, movie, but I respect the hell out of you, and I actually liked it. That last part was me personally, I don't know about you guys. And the ending of this movie is really refreshing. I was not expecting the movie to go that route, but I'm really happy it does. It really feeds into the message of the film of the unpredictability of life, because the whole of this movie is unpredictable. Every decision that Bryan Cranston does in this film is very risky in terms of how you show this in the movie, because again, this is not a very rootable character. You cannot root for him a lot. At least I couldn't, and I like Bryan Cranston, and I felt charmed by the character at points, but I cannot fully root for him. Wakefield is a very original movie, a very quirky movie in its storytelling and in the characters and how it approaches the characters and life in general. It's definitely a very interesting look at a midlife crisis, and I wonder if I watch this movie in my 40s and 50s, will I relate to this character? Will my perspective be completely different? I won't say that you must rush out and watch Wakefield as soon as you can, but it's definitely a good watch, an interesting watch, and a unique watch. Another good indie movie in 2017, and I will say that Wakefield is a martini. It is a good time, anytime. What did you think of Wakefield, my beautiful geekies? Did you enjoy it? Did you not? What is your favorite midlife crisis movie and how the movie approaches it? Let me know in the comments below. Let me know what you expect of your midlife crisis in the future, unless you're going at it by now. I don't know if I have any people in midlife subscribe to my channel, but I would be really happy if I did. Thank you so much for watching, my beautiful geekies. You guys are the freaking best. I love you all so much. Tomorrow, my Geek Classic review of Dawn of the Planet of the Apes goes up, and this week I have reviews for Baywatch and War for the Planet of the Apes, and I will talk to you guys about next week soon. So until then, you stay beautiful, you stay geeky, and if you haven't done so yet, click the subscribe button and the bell so we can be geeky united!